Welcome to Spiritual and Empowerment Living with international speaker, spiritual mentor, and best-selling author, Tia Johnson, as she discusses spiritual and women's empowerment topics to assist you in igniting your spirituality and empowering your quality of life. Let's welcome your host, Tia Johnson.
All right. Here we go. This is the yearly Oracle card reading. Excited. So if you're new to this podcast, I do a yearly Oracle reading, which is basically looking at the theme of the year, looking at a lot of perspectives. So in the previous episodes, what I did was I pulled a card for each month, which made the episode a bit long, and I even thought about getting it transcribed. However, I found a cool hack that makes it easier for everyone. And it's a 6-card spread. So before I dive into that, I'm going to, that's my drum roll, talk a little bit about the reflection I did for 2019. And I just want to talk about this briefly because it means a lot. And sometimes we get into our zone and we don't realize when something's coming to an end, if that makes sense. And every time there's an ending, there should be some reflection that happens. So the other day, I was just doing a little bit of reflecting. And I thought, man, 2019 was definitely a year of a lot of things going on, which isn't anything out of the norm. But I just had to take a few steps back to really look at this. So around this time last year, I was in the bride squad. So my best friend got married last year in May, and I talked a little bit about this in previous episodes, but we were already in planning mode for the bachelorette party, trying to pick out places. And we ended up going to the Dominican Republic, and we had a blast. But there was a lot of, a Zoom calls that we did. Her sister was her matron of honor. So, she took the helm and, boom, 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 figure out what we're going to do for the bridal shower, what we're going to do for this, what we're going to do for that. And it was just, I don't want to say crazy. That's normally what people say. It flowed very well, is what I'm saying. It was a lot of stuff involved, but it flowed very well. And before you knew it, it was the wedding. And that was a 3-day celebration. It was the rehearsal dinner. That was a celebration. And we even performed a dance. Because my best friend is Indian, so the bride squad, we got together and we did we practiced an Indian dance. That was fun. Then there was the wedding day, and then after that, it was a send-off barbecue because some of the family members flew in from different parts of the world. Her husband is German, so he had some cousins or cousin who flew in from Germany. It was nice, wonderful, beautiful. But then I had my first ever goddess retreat. That was in June, and that was a huge learning lesson. And actually, maybe I'll do an episode about the behind the scenes of that. And it was great. Women, they showed up, they had a blast, and it was a lot of fun. Actually, I think I did do an episode where I talked about that. Excuse me, that was in July, and I did a recap. So that's episode 218. So you can go ahead and listen to that. It was amazing. And I'm going to have another one for 2020, so stay tuned for that. Or you could just hop on an email list by going to tiamariejohnson.com. And then I started paying attention more to wellness. And I'm going to talk more about this in later episodes where I started teaming up with Isagenix and taking their products. And it's just been wonderful. Next, then I was in Nashville for that. That was their big conference called Celebration. And the best way I can describe it is if Tony Robbins had a nightclub. I mean, it is just high impact, high energy. You're learning a lot. It's amazing. And then some other things happened. Like I went to the Renaissance Fair. That's an annual thing that me and my best friend go to. I got my driver's license, because my birthday. All these great things happened. All right. So that was just like a footnote. The fast-paced 2019, okay? And of course, there's always, some unfortunate things that happen, but overall, 2019 was a good year. I just, just had to take a moment to talk about that because we should, and I hope that you're doing that or you did it and you weren't hard on yourself. All right, so I got this idea for this 6 card spread. I have to give credit where credit is due from House of Good Spirits underscore on Instagram. So that's House of Good Spirits underscore on Instagram. And I came across that because I was actually following another person who basically just, gave credit where credit was due. So it was I was following Cartomancy underscore spreads, and uh, she had posted the House of Good Spirits underscore tarot spread for 2020. And I thought, oh, this is great because this is so much simpler to have a 3 card spread, as I said earlier. So let's get to it. The 3 cards are card of the year. What is the lesson I'm going to learn this year? Where should I direct my energy in 2020? My biggest challenge of 2020, my most valuable blessing of 2020. Overall, what am I stepping into in 2020? Now, the reason why this is so beneficial is because oracle cards, basically anything that you use to help you with divination, things like that. So even if you use runes, tarot cards, something that's a good visual aid, it's so helpful because it allows us to paint a picture, but with our naked eyes. We can look at a card or we can at least envision it and get a feel for it. So I'm using Goddess Power Oracle card deck by Colette Baron Reed. I love her. She was on the show years ago. She signed one of my books. I just adore her work. So let's get started. And also, I don't even know what these cards are. So I kept them face down. I just simply asked the goddess for some guidance. And I was just told, pick the top 6 cards of the deck. Boom, there you go. All right. So here we go. The first one. This card is Truth. And this is the Egyptian god Mott. So this card is, well, first of all these cards are very vivid. And it's a woman and she has like a sun ray behind her, like a circular disc behind her. She has her hand over her chest, like just above her heart chakra. And she's just intense. So I'm going to say the message that I'm getting from it and then I read the message from the book. So as the card of the year, what I'm getting is that this is really your year to not just step into your truth, but to show up as you truly are. So, definitely no more hiding. Okay, no more curbing yourself, no more half stepping. All right, this is really about you basking in all your glory. All the rays of the sun are hitting you, not just some. And you're going to be okay with that. Before it was, and I want to say like the last 5 years, it was just like, oh, I let a little bit of me show. I don't want to show too much of who I am because we still have a lot of past life um, memories with us. Well, it's always in our cellular memory. And unfortunately, some of us don't realize that. So we go out in the world with the fear of speaking up, a lot of things that really hinder our growth. So, and this is going to be the year where that's not going to be an issue. And I said this also on previous episodes. Living your truth, being bold, brave, conquering fear and doubt. This is not about you getting over a fear of snakes, okay? Because that's not something that is going to empower you unless it is going to empower you, right? So let's say you want to work with the goddesses more in depth, and one of the symbols of the goddess is a snake, right? So you're like, well, you know what? I want to get over being afraid of a snake. Okay, that's something that's part of your growth. But if you're just like, no, it's not, or getting over being afraid of clowns, if it's not going to help your development, don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about if you see other people who, say, I'm going to conquer all my fears. That's great for them. All right, I just want to mention that here because sometimes people get that confused. Okay, so that's what I'm getting, is that this is when you really are going to step into your own, and you're going to see a lot of things, a lot of doors open for you. You're going to see a lot of people start to step into your life, but you will lose a few people, like 2 or 3, but it'll be okay. You will see that their season was done, and it's going to be okay. So here's the quick blurb from the book. There is great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess Maat, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I never heard this goddess be pronounced, and so don't beat me up. Comes to remind you that if you are willing to do fearless self-inventory and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Being completely transparent with others, although it might first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do now. When you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and new happiness that will pour over your life like a wild, sweet honey. Ooh, that sounds sexy. Awesome. So that is the card of the year. That's card number 1, Truth. Let's move on to the next one. All right. What is the lesson I'm learning this year? Ooh, one of my favorite goddesses, Lilith, Independence. And of course, this one is intense as well. She has a crown going on here. There's a snake on top of that, the earrings, everything. So what I'm getting from this card is that no more codependency. And it shows up in many forms. So again, this is not about beating yourself up or anything like that. The independence that you're gaining, that's going to be not just at a new level, but broadening, just spreading out, is something that's so unprecedented with you that at first you feel like that's not it. It's just like, wait, that's my independence? That's what it's about? So this is when you are defining your independence, right? So this is why this card showed up as, what is the lesson I'm learning this year? No more asking for permission for things, no more second guessing, no more kind of sort of mentioning things that you want to do to seek validation. That's kind of the backdoor way of asking for permission. Okay, this is about you really living an unadulterated life, I guess is the word that just came to mind. So really just think about, what would it mean for you to live a life that it's free, where the decisions you make are based off of the knowledge you have right now. Okay, and based on all the information you have, that's the best decision that you make. And if it goes, south, crossways, whatever, you can still own that because you made a conscious decision without seeking permission, without someone holding your hand. You can own that. This is going back to owning your truth. You can say, hey, based on my resources, based on my knowledge, I made the best decision I could. You live and you learn. Okay, I'll do better next time. When you know better, you do better. All right, so let's see what this says here. The Jewish goddess Lilith refused to be dominated by the first man, Adam, and as a result was called a demon in the stories about her that follow. These inaccurate and damaging stories are so old and repeated so often that no one recognizes how pervasive their implications are. From another perspective, Lilith offers this lesson. No one can prevent you from fully blooming, from learning all you can, from evolving and choosing freedom. Only your conditioned thinking can do that. Be proud, be accountable, Claim your power and hold it wisely. So that's basically what it's about. Okay? Once you have that independence, it doesn't matter what people say or think. And I know it's rough at first because sometimes it's people who you care about, or sometimes it's just a little bit too much. But remember, people do nice things and still receive a complaint. I talked about this many times on this show, and it just baffles my mind how people still find something wrong with a good deed. Sometimes it's just as simple as, well, why didn't the person take the kids here instead of there for community service purposes? Why do you care? This person took a group of kids and, decided to spend a day with them, take them on a field trip, and you worry about where this person took the kids? Crazy. So keep that in mind. Good people who do good deeds are still being scrutinized in some way. Okay? Who cares? Be so independent that it literally just rolls off your shoulder. Well, I guess that'd be figuratively. Figuratively, it will roll off your shoulders. Okay? Focus on that. So I'll read the next sentence. Right now, you are in an excellent position to attract healthy, interdependent, collaborative relationships that truly serve the highest good. I pause after interdependent because that is a word that I probably have said 1,000 times since I started this podcast. Interdependent relationships are what we want. And the example I give is a football team, because each player is accountable for their role, but also they work well together so they can eventually win the championship. So the quarterback needs his receiver. The quarterback needs the offensive line. Okay, the defensive line needs to be there. Everyone has their part. No one is codependent, okay, in a sense of, oh, well, I need you to tell me what to do. Do I have permission to, be at, the line of scrimmage, all that other stuff. So it's just, no, people know their role, okay? And some people rise to the occasion more than others, but the point is, okay, it's a healthy relationship. And when you work well together, great things happen. So it may not be the Lombardi trophy for you, but it'll show up in another form. And that's what we want, that interdependent relationship, okay? So thank you, Lilith, for that. Independence. Thank you, Maat-Truth. Next one. Where should I direct my energy in 2020? I feel like this is going to be such a deep and whoa, insightful card. Not saying that the others weren't, but I feel like this is going to be like a card that wasn't quite expected. Let's see. Revelations. All right, and I'm going to see how to pronounce this goddess name. I'm not familiar with this goddess. Maybe Leizi, I believe. Leizi. Oh, and what a pretty card. So, what I'm getting from this card is that because the work has been done for truth and independence, and I feel like those go hand in hand, that a lot of revelations will happen. So don't be surprised if this creates a final chapter in your life early on in the year, meaning you're going to close the book on some things. Okay, so whatever is residual, energy or whatever from 2019, you're going to wrap it up within like the first 3 to 6 months of the year. It's like, nope. I discover something that filter over, need to go. You're going to have these self-awareness moments, these moments where it's like, aha. And it could be as random as you in a shower, you driving down the street, you're talking to someone, and it just clicks. That's what's going to happen. Like you turn on a light switch, it just clicks. All right, let's see what the book says here. It's called the empowerment message. There are moments when synchronicity brings all the elements together for a flash of insight to rise up in your glorious epiphany. Whatever was not clear becomes crystal in an instant. It's as if you are able to simultaneously perceive every facet in a diamond. You know without a doubt that you are on the right track as deep understanding sinks into your very soul. In this moment, change and transformation takes place, and a transcendence moment is offered to you as an extraordinary gift. Leizi is the Chinese goddess, mother of lightning, brings revelations into your life with a flash. She gifts you this as a result of all the hard work you have put into dismantling your old self and making space for who you want to become. This is a very auspicious time. Great. And she has her hand out. So imagine someone wants to pour like a liquid in your hand and you cup your hand a little bit. That's how her hand looks. And there's a lightning bolt coming out, but it's so pretty. Also, side note, when you are connecting with these goddesses, it's okay if you're starting out and you don't know how to approach or say certain things. Some goddesses, you're not going to be able to, Google or YouTube how to pronounce their names. Some of you can, and it takes a little bit of practice, but I don't want you to feel bad about that, okay? Because I know when I was starting out, I was just thinking to myself, how do I pronounce that? But also, there are so many goddesses, you're not going to know every single one of them. But what you can do is get to know each one by reading up on them. There's books upon books that you can get from a bookstore, a library, and of course, there's always the internet. All right, so that was the where should I direct my energy in 2020. So I hope that you're seeing a theme here: truth, independence, revelation. This is the year of not holding back. I mean, you might as well be walking around in your birthday suit. Okay, not really, because I don't want you to get arrested for indecent exposure. But you get what I'm saying, okay? Really, this is you just being unfiltered. This is you really acknowledging that, wow, I could have done this so much sooner, but it's okay. I'm here now. And guess what? I'm living the life I truly deserve. Finally. All right, moving on to the next one. My biggest challenge of 2020. Actually, before I look at this card, I want to say, because I know I said I felt like that third card was going to be something like really serious. Revelation sometimes feels like a ton of bricks hit you. I know it said like a flash in the pan kind of thing, but that's all you need is just that flash. It's like, oh my gosh, I got it. It's clear now. So, just take that into consideration. That it's like a breath of fresh air. Okay, it's as if you weathered the storm. You heard the thunder, you hear the raindrops, all that, and it's winds blowing, and it's all clear. And you come out and you're like, whoa, it's clear. I get it. I totally get it. All right, so my biggest challenge of 2020. Elen, E-L-E-N. Patterns. Ooh, so this goddess has intense eyes. They're almost like cat eyes. Patterns. What I'm getting from this card is that there are a lot of, what do you call it? There are a lot of the mundane, redundant, that's what I'm looking for. There are a lot of redundant tasks that have to get done. And I call it life's admin. Doing the laundry, making doctor's appointments, or scheduling doctor's appointments, I should say. Finding clothes to wear, figuring out what to eat, taking care of the home, taking care of your child, a parent, a friend, whatever. There's always these chores and also responsibilities that sometimes aren't fun. Okay? And I mean it in the most sincere way. For example, I know I mentioned parent. Like, no one wants to see their aging parent be sick. You know, it's not fun, but you take them to the doctor's, office and things like that. It's not fun, but you do it. And it's like an admin thing, going to the doctor, scheduling their doctor's appointments. Here's the thing. There are going to be some patterns that we can't avoid. However, there are some patterns that we can flip the script on. Rules that can be broken. Busting out of that hamster wheel, so to speak. This challenge is to help you look at what are the patterns in your life that are not good for you. So you don't have to like them, right? Like, for example, who likes folding laundry? I don't. I couldn't care less. I just want to just throw it in my wardrobe. I have a chair from some of my go-to shirts. Boom. Okay? I do not care about folding clothes. Okay? I mean, I put the clothes in the washer, in the dryer, and I think that's enough adulting, okay? I mean, ask me to fold it all nice and pretty and put it in the drawers, whatever, okay? Power to the people who do it, not shaming you or anything like that, but I have a capacity for the amount of life's admin / adulting I can do a day, okay? So that's a pattern that I don't care for, but it has positive results. What I'm talking about is, let's be aware of the patterns that you don't care for, but they also don't have positive results, such as listening to your friend who always has drama and you want to give a solution. She doesn't want to hear it, or she always has an answer why that solution won't work. Okay, well, it's time to not answer the phone when she calls, okay? Or call her back when you have some spare time, but you can also kind of sort of listen, but not, okay? Because some people have to phase people out as opposed to just cutting them off. So that's why I said, let her talk and you do something in the background and you can chime in, because that person really doesn't want to hear your opinion anyway. So you can phase them out that way. Or, maybe it's you have a sweet tooth and you're eating way too many sweets. Okay? Not good. So let's look at what the book has to say about that, because what I'm getting is that it's about recognizing the good patterns, the bad patterns, and if it is a good pattern, can you make it a little bit more interesting? Is there something you can do about that? Bad patterns, how can you flip the script on that? What can you do? All right, the empowerment message. Have you noticed patterns in your life that lead to positive experiences? Ooh. Developing a positive habit introduces new patterns into the fabric of reality and will support your dreams as they take form in the material world. So, side note, before I read the rest, I imagine a blanket, or I guess they call it a quilt, where you have all these different patches and you form a pattern of sorts. So imagine if you had this quilt that you're making and you have all these good patterns. You have pinks and reds in there, and then you have some white patches that lead to some light pink patches. Maybe you got like a splash of light blue, something like that, okay? Light orange. And then let's say you have a dark green. It's like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. That color doesn't really go with the scheme. It's not bad per se, but so it's like that. It's look at your quilt and think about what goes there. What kind of sticks out? And if it sticks out, does it still work? I mean, maybe the green could work further down in the quilt. Okay, so let's continue. It takes awareness and discipline to make this happen, but you can do it. It's time to allow the experience of new happiness. If you do, the Celtic goddess of paths and patterns will show you a new way to your dreams. So that's like I was saying. What can you flip the script on? All right. All manner of miracles are possible. Now is also the time to build bridges across any divides with others that have temporarily separated you. Your path is clear. The way will be shown as you make new choices for your life with the goddess of the ways as your happiness guide. So basically, as the goddess of paths and patterns, while you're on this path of life, what are the patterns that are helping you get to your destination, whether it's love, lose weight, be healthier, get the promotion, be a better person, be more socially conscious? What's the destination that you want to look at right now? And what are the patterns that are popping up in your life that could possibly hinder you from getting to that destination? Okay, so you may need to take out a pen and a sheet of paper, maybe type it in the notes section of your phone, and get to the nitty gritty of it, because this is the challenge for 2020. You don't want to fall into the same patterns. I'm telling you, as a stone cold fact, when we don't recognize our patterns, and in addition to that, when we do change but don't maintain it, as that message said, discipline, we default back to whatever it is. So if you're someone who been eating healthy for about 2-3 months, and then let's say you get the flu, you're sick, so you're eating your soup and crackers, but then you haven't gone food shopping. Uh-oh, there's a little bit of junk in your household because your one friend was just like, oh, sorry, I went to the store and, you know, I just got these bag of chips. I know you don't really eat it, but I was starving, so I just picked up these bag of chips. But they left it at your house. And you weren't necessarily the best person when it came to discipline with snacks like that. That's why you don't keep it in your house, but it's there now. So what happens? You end up eating the bag of chips because we default unless we maintain. Okay? So that's the challenge. All right, my most valuable blessing of 2020. Aphrodite, romantic love. Okay, so she has a nice sassy hairstyle going on here. All right, she got the pinks and everything. All right, so let's get into it. Um, for this one, my most valuable blessing, romantic love. Romantic love shows up in many forms for different people. The default here would be, oh, you're gonna find love, but no. I actually get the feel of the card and visions. So yes, for some people, this is the true love moment, the where the roads come together. It's like, oh my gosh, yay. Okay, but for other people, keep in mind, romantic love, people define this differently, and this is starting to become one of those words, romantic. Okay, talking about romantic here because yes, love, but there's always different kinds of love, like platonic love, romantic love, things like that. So people define romance differently. Okay, it's no longer just the flowers and chocolates. Okay, sometimes it's just getting your significant other's Starbucks order right. That's so romantic. Okay, so romantic love, I need you to define it for yourself. What does that look like for you? Because you could be in a relationship. So if I was just someone who just said, oh, yeah, you're going to find a love in your life. And you're like, Tia, I'm married. What? So I dive deeper. This is a great time for you because you started living your truth. You became more independent. You had revelation. So guess what? You're going to say what your idea of romanticism is, what you believe is romantic. Your communication is going to get better. So if your significant other has been getting your Starbucks order wrong and you're just like, oh, I'll just drink it, I don't want to hurt his or her feelings, you're going to be like, now you're going to say, honey, I love you, but this isn't my usual Starbucks drink. I get 3 shots of espresso. I won. Something like that, right? So what I'm saying is, this is your time. This is when you're really going to be in the swirl of things, okay? But you have to define this for yourself, okay? And that's what I'm getting here, that you're going to be so in love with yourself, with some of the people around you, even with your pets, your world, your environment. It's just going to be so immersed with love. So I want you to be surprised for some of the people listening if you decide to have a child. And also, I'm just getting that this card is in the middle of the lower half. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happened toward the 6th, 7th, 8th months, like the second half of the year. Something about that is just popping up like 6 months and beyond. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the time where you get pregnant, give birth, things like that. Let's see what the book has to say. The Greek goddess of romantic love, Aphrodite, represents a state of ecstatic being that she now invites you to cultivate within. You can experience the world as a central, expressive, creative being if you allow yourself the freedom to explore what this means to you. Perhaps this is a portent of new partnering or a deepening of one you already have. Or perhaps this is a time for you to claim this aspect of your nature, which may have lain dormant for a while. Aphrodite invites you to fall in love with your life now and choose to look for the essence and expression of love all around you. By doing so, love will increase tenfold and you will see evidence of it everywhere you turn. This is your sacred task when Aphrodite chooses to aid and empower you. So this is basically what I was saying. Just that's how I imagine it. Just a swirl of love everywhere. Like you're just going to be so immersed in love more than you have before. It's going to be different because you did the work. Okay, so this is next level. All right. So go ahead, start getting those whatever you need, the candles, the rose petals in the bathtub, whatever, that just got you feeling lovey-dovey. Play your favorite song. All right, we're at the last card. Overall, what am I stepping to in 2020? Ooh, oh man. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Psych, of course you are. All right, mastery. What a powerful, powerful word. Saraswati. I had to practice that one. Saraswati. And don't worry, I'm going to write the names of all the goddesses in the description for this episode. Okay, so don't worry about, oh my God, how do you spell it? All right, mastery. This goddess is helping you to be not just the queen, but the goddess of your domain. She is helping you with not just the next level, but the level, like the top level. That's it. This is going to be such a fortuitous time that when it actually hits you, it's almost unbelievable because things and people, opportunities, experiences are going to be so in the flow because you mastered yourself. You mastered so much. But remember, the master is always the student, okay? Which makes it even greater because you know that there's always room for learning and improvement. And because you welcome that, you're going to be in a constant state of abundance as long as you maintain that concentration. So, and also the card number here is 44. My attention was drawn to that. So 4 has to do with the angels supporting you, guiding you, nurturing you, helping you, all that. But also 4 is the number of strong foundations. In order for you to be a master, you have to have strong foundations. So it's not just 1 4, it's 2 4s. All right. Your foundations are airtight at this point. And keep in mind, this doesn't mean that it's going to happen December of 2020. Everyone's on a different learning path and speed. Okay, so this mastery may come to you in August Okay, who knows? But what I'm saying here is this mastery is going to be electrifying. And you're going to be such in a zone of power and genius, strength, boundary set. Fear and doubt will be in a distance. You will acknowledge whatever is still there, even if there's some, light form of insecurity. All that you would be able to look at it and get to the bottom of it and answer why you have that fear and doubt. And then you're going to remember that the universe supports you, supports us, and there's more than one way to solve a problem. There's more than one way to get to our destination. So, and I have my hands folded in prayer because it's just so like, wow. All right. And she has, I don't know what it is. I know it's not a guitar, it's a musical instrument behind her, but her hands are like set up like prayer form, but then her fingers go outward. So imagine just like you holding your hands together, but then you're pointing your fingers out. All right, let's see what the book has to say about this, because what I'm getting here is, just boss time. Just this is it. This is you saying the presidents can't even talk right now for the rest of your life. All right, this level that you're going to be at, there's no going backwards. There's no, being knocked off here. This is where the buck stops for anything that used to hold you back. You mastered yourself. Okay. All right. Mastery is a genuine sense of effortless knowledge after a period of dedicated immersion, which is what you've been doing. Okay. The Hindu goddess Saraswati asks you to enter her domain of art, language, knowledge, music, and poetry, and make this commitment to go the distance. Immerse your body, mind, and spirit in discovering all aspects of what is at hand. Learn and then learn more. Right now, if you adopt the role of apprentice and are willing to devote your heart and mind to something, you will become a true master. Deep wisdom knows only continuous learning. No matter what question you've come to explore, the goddess reminds you that the pursuit of mastery is never ending. So enjoy every minute of it. Wow. All right, let's do a quick recap. Because to end on that high note is just, whew, I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I wish sometimes I could just hit the fast forward button. All right. So, card of the year, Truth. What is the lesson I'm learning this year? Independence. Where should I direct my energy? Revelation. Challenge. Patterns. Blessings. Romantic love. What are you stepping into? Mastery. Take a deep breath. 2020 is going to be phenomenal. Now, even if you are at a point in your life in 2020 where something unfortunate happens, because it does, whether you stub your toe or you get a flat tire, whatever, you have the tools to get you back on track, because life happens. Okay, I don't want to put this out there and then act like life doesn't happen. Okay, people get sick, people get injured, okay, things happen. But because you are on this path, because you immerse yourself, because you're dedicated to your growth and empowerment, you are better equipped to handle these unfortunate events. Okay, stubbed your toe, You may say a few colorful words, but then you may also go get some ice for your foot. Or you may just prop your foot up. Or you may just, sit down for a little while and just say, give me a moment. You might just slow down, right? You get a flat tire. You may say a few choice words, but then you just say, you know what? I'm just going to call AAA. Or you know what? I know how to change a tire. I'm going to do it. It could have been worse, but you know what? I can handle it. And that's what it's going to be like. I can handle it. Sure, you can cry, you can cuss, you can scream, but overall you can handle it. Because those are emotions that are a part of life. Just because you are, in your mastery form doesn't mean that you won't cry. You still have feelings. So keep that in mind. Okay? The art, the poetry, don't take life too seriously. But be serious about a lot of things. Okay? And that's what I'll leave you with. It's going to be a good year. Please send me emails, let me know your progress. I love it when you guys send me emails. It's so amazing. I'm so thankful for that. And, just keep in mind that you're never really alone. Okay? Reach out to people. I know it's not easy, but you can do it. That's another theme for this year. When I was reading the words, I heard a lot of, you can do it. I read it. You can do it. Okay? I am sending you so many blessings. Be kind to yourself. I'm always rooting for you. Until next time.
Thank you for joining Spiritual Living and Empowerment with Tia Johnson. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in to the next show. Want to continue the conversation with Tia? Follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Tia_Johnson_. Have a wonderful day filled with many blessings.